whoever, yeah, maybe. Hello there, friends. How are you? Welcome to the Cupertino Fire Station. Today, we're going to go over a quick tour of the station, and we're going to go ahead and see the fire engine and the fire truck and learn about some safety tips for us to use at home. So why don't you come on in? All right. Real quick, we'll introduce ourselves. My name is Firefighter Chris, and this is Firefighter Kevin. And inside the Cupertino Fire Station, we have a little museum in front where we can keep some historical items. And the department was founded in 1947. And so we have a long-standing history here at Santa Clara County Fire. We protect 7 communities. We protect Campbell, Cupertino, Los Altos Hills, Montserrano, Saratoga, and unincorporated parts of the county. So if you live in any of those areas and you see white fire apparatus, that's us. All right, let's go ahead and go inside. All right. Inside here is our station office. We have Captain Matt working on some reports. In here, we can do some studying, catch up on some virtual training that we have to do and paperwork. Just like at school, it's super important that we continue to study throughout our entire careers. And so make sure you study up on math and English and science, because it's all super important here at the firehouse. Let's go ahead and head on out this way. All right, this part of the fire station is where we come to when we get an emergency call. And we can come here to our printer and we can check the location that we're going to for an emergency. We have some maps here that we can reference, and then we head on out the door. So let's talk a little bit about, there's a number that we call if there's an emergency, and it's 911. And so an emergency that we might need to call 911 for is going to be if there's a fire, if someone isn't feeling well and they might need to go to the hospital, if there's a vehicle accident, if there's a strange person that we don't know. Those are all things that we can call 911 for. And when we call 911, you can get one of 3 emergency responders. The fire department comes, the ambulance can come, and the police department can come. So our friends up at County Communications, they handle all of the 911 calls in our area and communicate it. You'll hear their voices on the radio during the tour. And hopefully pretty soon we're going to hear a test ring down of what it sounds like when we get a call. I think they're in the middle of another call. So at this point, we're going to continue the tour. And if the test ring down comes, then we can pause and listen. All right, let's go ahead and head into the dormitory. So this is one of the dorms here at the station. We have little cubbies for us. And we have cubbies because our shifts at the firehouse are for 2 days. So when we come to work, we're here for 2 days. And so in here, we have a desk, a chair, we have lockers, and then we've got these cool Murphy beds that come down. We can make our bed, and then we sleep here. And during the nighttime, we're always ready to respond to anyone's emergencies. At this time, Firefighter Kevin's going to go over some safety tips for you in your home.
Thank you, Firefighter Chris. All right. So first thing we're going to talk today about is smoke alarms. So this is a fire station, and just like at your house, there's ways to be prepared. One thing we can do is to have smoke alarms ready. Smoke alarms should be in a bedroom, outside in a hallway, outside the living area, and on every floor of the house. So if you have 2 stories to your house, make sure you have smoke alarm on the 2nd story and on the 1st story. Now, what's great about a smoke alarm is it is a wonderful nose, and that nose is constantly smelling for smoke. And it sounds like that might be a ringdown right now.
We would like to welcome the virtual tour. Again, welcome to the virtual tour to Firefighter Cupertino Station from all of us at firefighters and
Awesome. So just like Firefighter Chris was saying, when a 911 call comes in and our dispatch sends us a ring down, we hear that tone go off, and us firefighters, we go respond to that emergency, whether it's a fire, a vehicle crash, or if somebody's injured or hurt or sick, we can go help them. But to continue along with the smoke alarms, like I was saying, it's a wonderful nose, and this nose is smelling 24 hours a day, every single day. And what it's doing is smelling for that icky, yucky smoke. So in order to make sure that we maintain our smoke alarms, that they're working correctly, there's something that we need to do every month. Kids at home, do we know what we need to do? We need to test our smoke alarms. Fun thing to do is with your family, you can take one of these brooms and you can press on the test button until you hear the beep. And that makes sure that the smoke alarm is working correctly. So once a month, let's set a date and let's test our smoke alarms. If you happen to have a smoke alarm that needs a battery change, let's try and do that once a year. Is that what we're saying? Yeah, well, let's try and do that once a year. But many of the smoke alarms now that they sell at Home Depot and Lowe's, they're 10-year batteries, so you might not need to change it. But the important thing is we test them, we make sure that they're around the house like they should. I'm going to put this broom down here and talk to you guys about a few more things. So let's say we are at our house, a smoke alarm goes off, and you know what? We look outside our bedroom and we do see smoke. That can be a very scary thing. Smoke can come from all sorts of areas. Cooking, barbecues, things like that. But if we see smoke in the house or around the hallway, that might be bad smoke. So there's something very important we want to do. We want to crawl low and stay low under the smoke, because that yucky smoke is full of bad stuff, and it's going to go all the way up to the sky. And once it starts going up to the ceiling, it's going to push down, push down, push down. But down here, we have this nice clean air. So we want to make sure that we stay real low if we see smoke in the house. So kids, adults, everybody, if we see smoke around the house, we want to stay low and crawl to our exit. That brings up another point. No 2 ways out of your house. So 2 ways out, what does that mean? Well, let's take a look around this room. We came in through a door. I see another area we can get out. Let's take a little look over here. This looks like a window. If there was a fire and if there was yucky smoke, if that exit was blocked with fire and yucky smoke, we can open this window and hop out. So this is things that you can discuss with your parents, of course, but very important that we know 2 ways out of every room, 2 exit points. So this was one we could use, and the other one right over there was that door that we came in from. All right?
All right, at this time, we're going to talk about a meeting place. So let's go take a look at what a good meeting place looks like. Okay, so this is a good example of a meeting place. It could be your mailbox out front. It could be that large family tree in front of your house. It could be your neighbor's house across the way. But it's really important for us to discuss with our families to know a meeting place in case there was an emergency in your home. And that could be any kind of emergency, whether it be a fire or an earthquake, and everyone needs to get out of the house and have a safe place to go, so that when we show up as the fire department, we can talk to one of your parents, and one of your parents can say, everybody is safe and outside of the house. That makes our job easier, so we can just focus on going in and putting the fire out. If for some reason someone was still inside, then our main objective is going to be to go in and rescue that person. All right, let's go ahead and go back inside and continue the tour. Right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to come into our gym. And so this is our exercise room. We already talked about how the fire department can be sort of like school when we talked about studying in the office. So this is where we get to do our PE. And it's really important for firefighters to stay physically fit for the job. And so we devote at least 1 hour a day in here to work on our heart health and our strength conditioning to make sure that we're ready to come and help you in your time of need. All right, let's keep going. So this room here, this is called the day room. And this is a place where we can come together as a crew and we can put up a training video on the TV. We have a large whiteboard and we can draw out simulated fires and talk about our job, how we do things, and how we can do things better for the next time. All right. We can do some studying. You can see kind of there's lots of books, similar to a library that you might have at school as well. Moving right along. Like I mentioned before, we work for 2 days in a row. And so we sleep here and we also eat here as a crew. And the fire department is like a second family. And so if we come into the kitchen, you'll notice we have a kitchen table that we eat together at. And we've got a full kitchen because we shop for our meals, and then we prepare all our meals here while at work. And at this time, hey, Firefighter Trevor. Good. Are you working on dinner?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Hey, guys, welcome to the Cupertino Fire Station kitchen. While I have you in here, I'm going to talk about a couple safety points while we're working in the kitchen. First and foremost, good practice is to always rotate your pot handles and pan handles inwards to prevent them from becoming knocked over and spilling in the hot liquids. If for any reason that there's a cooktop fire, a good way to extinguish that safely is to cover your hand with most commonly a pot holder and slide the lid over the pot, and most importantly, turn that heat off. If there's any reason there is a oven fire, a good idea is to always keep it shut, and same thing, turn your oven off to exclude that heat. If for any reason someone sustains a minor burn in the kitchen, what you can do is turn on cool tap water, run your hand under that cool tap water for 10 to 15 minutes. And that, again, that's another point, is to make sure it's a minor burn, not a major burn. If it's a major burn, you need to seek immediate medical attention, such as calling 911 or going to the emergency room. Does anyone know what these are? Yeah, we have a lighter and matches. Those are tools, and they're not a toy. The only purpose of those is to create fire, and those are to be used by adults only. And for those little people watching this video, if anyone sees these lying around the house, what do? That's right. We tell an adult, and they can put them in a safe place. And parents and adults, just a reminder, if you could do us a favor and store these in a safe place out of the reach of little hands throughout the home, that would do us a huge favor. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Firefighter Trevor. Another thing in our kitchen real quick before we leave, is you'll notice we had 3 refrigerators. And that's because we've got 3 shifts at the fire department. We've got an A shift, a B shift, and a C shift. And we get to store our food accordingly when we're on duty. All right, let's go ahead and head out. We're gonna head to the apparatus bay and learn more fire safety tips. Okay, this is our apparatus bay. This is where we store our fire engine, our fire truck, and our other equipment. And at this time, I'm going to have firefighter Brian talk to us about a few more things such as stop, drop, and roll.
Hello. So out here, we're going to go over some safety tips. We have a few tips for you guys. We're going to talk about stop, drop, and roll. So all of you right now are wearing clothes at home. You have shirts, pants, boots. Anytime you guys clothes catch on fire or something like, you stop right where you are. You drop to the floor, cover your mouth, to protect your mouth so you don't breathe in all that hot smoke, and then you start rolling around back and forth. And I will show you guys that in a second. So everyone at home, say it together. Stop, drop, roll. So here we go. Oh no, my pants are on fire. Now stop, drop to the front, roll around. And you keep rolling until the fire goes out. And now we're going to move over to seatbelt safety. We have one of our beautiful Cupertino engines in 71. This is where the fire captain sits. And we all have seatbelts and wear them all the time. So this is your chest belt and your lap belt. The chest belt goes across your chest, not against your neck, not off your shoulder, right across your chest to keep you safe. And your lap belt goes across your lap, nice and secure and stud. This is where the captain sits, but if we had firefighters that were 13 years or younger, they would sit in the back. So if you're 13 years old or younger, you sit in the back and make sure you're staying safe in your pants. If you want to follow me, much like my kids have, they have scooters, bikes, a lot of toys that go really, really fast. So they are always wearing a helmet. We have helmet safety, very, very important. We have some pictures that show the improper way to wear a helmet. And we have firefighter Andrew wearing his helmet properly. So we have his eyebrows. We always want to make sure it's 2 fingers resting nice and neat. His helmet doesn't have it, but there's a V pattern right here. So you make sure that it's perfectly around your ear, not too far back, not too far forward. He has a chin strap. Chin strap's nice, snug, and secure. And we make sure that's just 1 finger, not too tight, not too loose. So if something were to happen, it does not fall off. So now we are going to demonstrate firefighter Andrew getting into his protective equipment and what we wear when we go on calls.
Hi everybody, my name is Firefighter Andrew. So today we learned about stop, drop, and roll. What happens if your clothes catch fire and you're going to stop, drop, and roll to put that fire out. But when we go into fires, we have to wear special clothes that are designed for us to be firefighters and to go into a fire that's really, really hot. So we're going to start here at our boots and our pants. And we wear special shoes that have quick zippers, or some of them just slip off. And we have 60 seconds to do this. So I'm going to go nice and slow for you guys. First, we want to protect our face, our ears, our neck, and our hair. So we're going to put this special hood on. And that covers up my face. I'm going to jump in my boots. And pull up our pants all in one. And I bet a lot of the parents at home wish their kids' clothes came like this. Make things a lot easier in the morning. So now I got to cover my arms and my chest. So I'm putting my jacket on. Remember, the whole time it's just me, just getting ready. This is all the stuff we have to wear. I know it looks big and weird. This is all the stuff we wear to go into a fire. And that's why it's very, very important that you guys get out of the house as quickly as possible. So now the smoke coming from a fire is really, really yucky. So if everybody at home take a deep breath in, and take a deep breath out, and a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. That's really good air you're breathing in. All that black smoke is really, really gross air. So we have to bring our own air in. So we carry this special backpack we call an SCBA. And this has this whole giant room compressed down this little bottle, almost like a scuba bottle. And that allows us to breathe when we go into the smoky environment. So I'm gonna put that on and turn it on. It's gonna make some noise. So the beeping just lets me know that it's working and that there's air in there. So once we get all this equipment on, it weighs about 40 to 50 pounds, and we carry this around with us when we're fighting fire. So it can be pretty tiresome. So now I'm going to put my mask on. It's going to make some funny noises. Put my mic on here. Now I'm going to cover up. I'm going to cover my hair again, my ears, and my neck. Take this off with them. So I put my helmet back on, just like firefighter Brian showed us. Got to make sure it's nice and tight so it doesn't fall off. Let's hope it hits our head. The last thing, I got to cover my fingers. This is all the stuff we put on just to go inside to a fire. Because remember, it's just me, firefighter Andrew. Now we put on these things like almost like oven mitts. Now I'm ready to go inside a hot fire. Thanks for doing this with us. We'll see you guys later.
All right. So it's really important. Firefighters wear these uniforms. I don't think we're too scary like this, right? We're also not scary like firefighter Andrew dressed up. So if you happen to find yourself in the unfortunate situation that you are in a fire, we want to make sure that if you hear us coming and looking for you, that you shout out, "Hey, I'm over here. Hey, I'm over here." And we're not scary when we're dressed up, okay?
Fire department, we're over here. Can you hear me? Where are you? Hello, fire department, where are you at? Can you hear us? And that's what you're going to sound like and look like when we come calling into your house if it's really, really smoky, because we're going to get down low and go, go, go.
All right, at this time, I want to go ahead and show you the fire engine and the fire truck, and then we have a couple other special apparatus. So let's come to the front. Okay, like firefighter Brian said earlier, this is a fire engine. The fire engine carries 3 firefighters, and it carries water, hose, it carries EMS gear for when people are sick, and the captain sits up front. They have an iPad that routes them to the call so we know where we're going. We have communication with headsets so that we can talk to our dispatchers while we're en route to the call. In the back is where the firefighter sits, and you'll see their equipment back there. And in the middle seat, we also have one of those SCBAs that firefighter Andrew was putting on so that we can put that backpack on while we're en route to a fire. As we come down the engine, you'll see some other equipment. We've got some fire extinguishers, some extra equipment. We've got a chainsaw. This is our medical equipment. It's like a little doctor's office on wheels. We've got a monitor here that can check our hearts and see if it's healthy and help it out. If it's really sick, we've got some medicine that makes people feel better and really big first aid kits. Okay, come on back here. On the engine, behind this compartment, we slide our ladders in here. So we have a ladder here. It's a 14-foot ladder. And we have an extension ladder here that's 24 feet. We'll talk more about ladders when we get to the truck. We also have a backboard if we have to strap a patient down that has some sort of back or head injuries. As we come along here, this is where we carry some extra hose in the fire engine. We have Wildland hose. We've got some structure hose. We also have some rope bags if we need to use ropes to rescue people. We've got some hand tools on the truck, or on the engine. We've got an axe. We've got Halligan etc. And then in this area, this is what we call the engineer's pump panel. And so whoever the driver is for the day, it's their job when we get to a fire to go ahead and pull the right lever that then allows water to flow through the hose. So like we talked about earlier about studying in school, it's really important that we stay up on math skills because we have to do some real quick calculations in order to get water flowing to a fire. All right, let's go ahead. Here's the front. This is where the engineer drives. And in this area, he can control all of the lights and the sirens, as well as on the headsets, we can all talk together and protect our ears from a loud siren. All right, let's go in front and we'll go check out the fire truck. So at the Cupertino Fire Station, we have 3 firefighters on the fire engine and we have 4 firefighters on the fire truck. This is a brand new fire truck for us where it actually has a driver in the back as well that makes the fire truck very maneuverable. The thing that makes this a fire truck is it has an aerial ladder that extends high into the sky, 101 feet. That's about 7 stories high to some of these buildings that are around here in Cupertino. So with the fire truck, you can see very similar to the fire engine. There's equipment inside the truck. There's also a small pump panel because our truck does carry a little bit of water. And we'll come down and show you some of the equipment that we carry on the truck. The main difference between the truck and the engine is the truck is more specialized for those more significant calls like fires and rescues. So you'll see extra big bags for, this is equipment that we can use. It's called a rapid intervention crew kit that we can use in case a firefighter ends up getting trapped in a fire. And then we've got some a little bit of extra hose. We've got all of our saws, a circular saw and chainsaws. We have a water vac in case there's a water emergency where maybe a pipe bursts and is flooding somebody's house. We can come help them. We've got a large fan that can blow smoke out of a smoke-filled home. We've got some tools here. Come across. This is where the tiller driver sits up back and steers the rear wheels of the fire truck. So not only does the fire truck have a 101-foot aerial ladder, but it carries several ground ladders that allow us to make access to buildings. All right, come around this side. So the way the truck is set up, most of our fire equipment is located on the driver's side of the truck, and most of our rescue equipment is located on this side of the truck. We have some equipment in there. We've got our paramedics gear in this compartment on this truck. We've got some water rescue gear, as well as a petrogen device that allows us to cut metals. We've got some extra lighting and ropes and cribbing to help stabilize a vehicle. Down here, we have what we call our extrication tools. Some people call this the jaws of life. These are referred to as a spreader. And this tool right here can go ahead and cut a car. You probably can't hear me when I do that, but as I open it, it can spread metal from a car. Similar to this tool, we have another tool in here that we call the cutters, and it can go ahead and cut metal. All right, as we come down, that's the basics about the truck. We've got 2 other pieces of equipment here at the Cupertino station. This engine off to the right as you look is our Type 3 Wildland engine. So this engine is designed to go off-road and 4-wheel drive. So it has some chainsaws. Typically, if we have to use them on trees that could be burnt from a vegetation fire. We've got hose packs that allow us to extend hose and put out the fire quickly. We come around on this side. We've got other equipment such as a kind of a portable pump that we can use. And then if we come around this side, we'll see a few more things. All of our fire apparatus carry the medical equipment. So this one has the medical equipment here in this compartment. And we've got more hand tools that we can use if we have to scrape some of the vegetation out on the line. Okay, so this fire engine typically goes on all of the very large forest fires that occur in the state. And so when that happens, we put firefighters on this engine from this station as well as other stations within our department, and they'll travel up and down the state of California to put out the fires. Okay, and there's one last special piece of equipment, and this is a command vehicle. And this command vehicle also goes all up and down the state to the major fires in California. And the nice thing about having it here is we can use it anywhere within our department as well in case there's a situation that we have to use. And there's office space inside so that the fire chiefs can come up with plans to mitigate the emergencies. Okay, and with that, we appreciate you coming and visiting with us virtually. We have missed being able to give these station tours in person due to COVID. We hope that we can open up the fire stations as soon as possible to let all of you friends back in and see the fire engine and fire truck. One of the parts about our job that we just love is to be able to talk to all of you and tell you about our job and all of the safety tips to keep you and your family safe. So with that, I don't know if there's any questions that we're going to answer from online. Okay, it doesn't look like any questions are coming in online. Thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it, and we will see you next time.